Well, hello, Indie Warriors. Welcome to I Dream of Indie Games. My name is Old Gamer Joe, and this is Indie Insights, a show where we discuss a hot-button topic in the indie gaming scene, and sometimes even beyond. It's good to be with you all. Hope you're having an amazing weekend so far. This brand new show is usually going to be rolling out on Fridays, but made an exception this week because we have a new episode of Zero Review Zone, which is live right now, and you should definitely check that show out. By the way, it's my favorite show on the channel, where Scrambled Ashton, our very own, reviews games that have absolutely no reviews on Steam, and hilarity, of course, ensues. As for Indie Insights, well, we're going to have staff members cycling in and out here, so it won't just be my face every week. Don't panic. And you'll get a lot of different takes, which I'm really excited about. You know, one thing that this channel has been missing is an on-camera presence, so that's something I'm working very hard to correct. Now you can put a face to the voice, and some of you can stop calling me AI, because I'm not AI. Now this is proof. Though I guess you can even make people look... I don't know. I'm not getting involved in any of that stuff, but I'm real, damn it, and this is Indie Insights. So let's get into today's topic. Now, this is something that really isn't supposed to happen, but it did, and I'm so glad that it did. As I'm sure many of you have heard by now, Iron Lung, an independent, fully self-funded movie by YouTuber Markiplier, has absolutely shocked Hollywood, nearly and arguably nabbing first place this past weekend. Now, my understanding is this movie was in first place a few of the days over the weekend, but ultimately did not come out on top. But no shame in that, it was up against a Sam Raimi movie, which makes this all the more impressive. And it's doing so well, $27 million against a $3 million budget, no less, that it's actually going to get a second weekend in cinemas. So you will have an opportunity to see Iron Lung if you've not yet done so. And I recommend you do, because I really enjoyed it. But I'll touch on that a little bit more later. Now, real quick, because I know this will be repetitive for some of you out there, Iron Lung is based on an indie game, which is why I thought this story was relevant to the channel. In this game, you're a prisoner sealed inside of a submarine known as the Iron Lung, sent out to a blood ocean to retrieve data in exchange for your freedom. As you can imagine, not too many people come back from these voyages, and the story just kind of unfolds from there. Now, you know, for as many indie games that I've played on this channel, Iron Lung is one that has somehow eluded me over the years. I did end up watching Markiplier's playthrough just so I could get prepared for the movie, because I knew for a fact this movie was something that I wanted to support. And I'm very glad I did that, because it does offer some nice background to understand the movie a little bit better. And you know, as someone who really likes the occasional spooky indie game, I really liked what I saw out of Iron Lung. The game has great atmosphere and unique gameplay mechanics and how you navigate to specified coordinates to retrieve more information. I can definitely see it not being for everyone from a gameplay standpoint, but after watching it, I definitely understand why Mark may have wanted to make this into a film. Now, I can't say it would be my first choice. That would probably be Carry On, or I take that back. It would probably be, or it would definitely be Hotline Miami. Let's go with that. I would make a Hotline Miami movie. But still, I kind of see the appeal here. It makes sense. This is an interesting premise and has a claustrophobic setting that would work well on a tighter film budget. After watching the movie for myself, I have to say that I really enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Now, I didn't go into it thinking it would be bad per se. I figured, well, it's an indie movie, $3 million budget, it's a YouTuber making it, it'll be okay-ish, I bet. But I kind of came out of this movie thinking it was good. I'm not going to say great, but I thought it was good. Yes, there are some pacing issues in this film. I think it runs a little too long. It could have been trimmed to maybe an hour 40 and still got the same message across, but it's well made. It's atmospheric. It has nice sound design. It looks really great considering the budget too. And I'll tip my hat to Markiplier once again, because I actually thought his acting was halfway decent in this movie. He does a pretty damn good job. But anyways, this isn't a review of Iron Lung. Plenty of those exist, I'm sure. More, I want to talk about the historical importance of this movie, because I do think this film matters well after its theatrical run. And this could also mean a lot for indies in general going forward. I say indies as a broad term because I think this does have potential for a trickle-down effect to occur, where many indie game developers look at the success of this film and say, hey, maybe I can do whatever I want to do for my next project, and I don't have to have this burden of a publisher or have all of these people over my shoulder. I can make it exactly what I want it to be. I can spend what I want to spend, and that's that. Now, granted, this was a pretty bold move by Markiplier, and he has more money than the average man does. I mean, yes, $3 million is a small budget for a film, but that's still a hell of a lot of money. I don't have $3 million. I'm willing to bet a lot of you out there probably don't have $3 million, especially to just throw at a film. So advantage Markiplier there for sure. But also there's a greater message to be extracted here, and that's that you don't necessarily need all that much money to have a successful venture still, something that Hollywood has lost sight of over the years. Budgets are soaring out of control in both mediums. I've long said that the game industry is basically the next Hollywood, and as we've seen over the last many years, that's exactly what has happened. Games are unaffordable to make, the quality of the product has decreased, and sales expectations are unrealistic, leading to a lot of flops. And when I say flops, these are games still selling 1 to 1.5 million copies, which was wild back in the day. That is now considered a flop in many cases. Not all cases, but many cases. But Hollywood just presses on with the big budget CG horror shows, and that's why I'm so glad that a film like Iron Lung exists. It was affordable by movie-making standards, it made a lot of money, so it was successful, and it didn't have all of these nasty moving parts and distributors involved, which is really a heartwarming thing when you think about it. Now, I don't think the suits of the world are going to change anytime soon. I've even heard things about numbers being covered up a bit, trying to make Iron Lung look worse. I don't know about any of that, but I do think that Markiplier has opened the door for a lot of indie artists out there, and he's at least opened their minds and hearts to the idea of doing something, maybe not even on their own necessarily, but with a small team in a constrained environment and still finding a successful avenue that way. I think this is a really inspiring moment in a world where it feels like artistry and creativity are dying more and more each day in both Hollywood and the AAA gaming industry. And so my takeaway from Iron Lung is that, sure, it is a movie with faults, but it's pretty damn well made, and ultimately, people are enjoying it and continuing to support it. $27 million, and it's not done yet. This could see $30 million pretty easily, I think. There's a lesson to be learned from that, in that many creators don't need a massive publisher. They don't need ridiculous marketing spend, or corporate oversight for that matter. Sometimes you just need passion, you need drive, and you need a damn good idea, and that can be enough. And that's really good news. But what do you think? Do you think that Iron Lung proves that indie creators can do things on their own? Maybe they don't need publishers across both mediums, film and video games? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And also, which indie games would you like to see turned into a movie? I've already given you a few of mine, but I'll be reading all of yours for sure. Voice to the voiceless.